Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I am going to show you how you can implement a Snackbar component using Jetpack Compose and Material 3 library. So let me show you the demo application, what we are going to achieve throughout this video. So on the right hand side, you can see the preview of our application. So let me show you the actual output on the Android emulator. So as you can see on the top, we have an app bar stating home app bar, and the center of this screen we have a button which is named this is a snack bar button. So when I will click this button will show me a pop-up, and the pop-up is the snack bar. So when I click this button, you can see our snack bar is visible with a title. This is a snack bar, and there are two additional components, which is an undo button and then cross button, which we call a dismiss button. So this is a demo application we are going to build throughout this video. Let me minimize this and let me show you the entire code. So we will achieve this snack bar component through the scaffold component. So if you don't know about scaffold, let me tell you in a very simple way. So a scaffold is a basic component which facilitates us or provide us a way to define app bar, bottom app bar, snack bar or floating action bar. So as you can see on the screen, this particular application is implemented using a scaffold, and inside the scaffold we have defined the top app bar, the floating action button, floating action button, contains, and the bottom app bar, and the respective output you can see on this web page. So let me go back to our project. So let's start building this project. First I'll close this application, or instead of closing it, let me close everything from this code section. Let me close it. This one also I should close, and yeah, and let's rebuild this preview. So as you can see, our screen is blank, so we are going to implement everything from the scratch. So first of all, let me define the scaffold here. So we can define scaffold by calling material 3 library component scaffold like this. But what I am going to do is I am going to separate this scaffold inside a function. So let me define a composable function called home scaffold, and inside this function I am going to call the scaffold function from the material 3 library, and we have to pass some arguments here such as top app bar or top bar, and again I am going to define the top app bar in a new function. So we will call it home app bar, and again I am going to define a composable function and then function home app bar. And because this top app bar is takes only a lambda functions, so we have to put this home app bar inside a lambda. So let me put this inside a lambda, and we have to pass another argument which is contained, and here contained to return the padding value which we have to implement. And let me define another composable function for the content. So composable home content, and let's call it a function, and here I am going to call this home content, and we'll pass this padding value, and same I will receive the padding value from here. Okay, now you can see error has gone, and let's call this home scaffold from this our on create method. So what we are doing is we are calling this home app bar not home app bar, this is home scaffold. So what we are doing is we are calling home scaffold inside our on create method, and home scaffold have a scaffold function defined on it, and scaffold function accepts parameters such as top app bar and the content. Top app bar we are defining inside a home app bar function, and home app bar as you can see is empty. So let me call the preview function also. So we'll call home scaffold here, and we'll see the output here. So if you can see, it's up to date, but we can't see any output because we have not defined any components here. So let's define the app bar. So I'm going to call top app bar function from material3 library. I'll call this, and let's define the title over here. So I'll call the text component, and I'll define the text is called home app bar. And we are getting some error. So on hovering to this error, we have to implement an annotation which says that this particular home app bar is experimental and likely to change or maybe change on in future. So now you can see the error is gone and the output is home app bar. So the home app bar is also accepts some other arguments. If you want to see them, just click Ctrl B and you will able to see the arguments on their implementation. So see, we have defined the title. Other parameter we can define is the color. So let's define the colors also. So now here the title is ending, so I'll define the color also, colors, and then we have to pass top app bar defaults dot top app bar colors, and inside this top app bar, let's see the implementation of this top app bar colors. So I'll again click Ctrl B, and then we can see the top app bar accepts a parameter called container color. So let's use it. So I'll go and say container color, and then here we are going to pass color from our material theme. So let's see primary container, and as you can see, as soon as we written this code, the contain color, the background color changed to the primary container color. Okay, so this is how we implemented the home app bar. Let's implement the content of this screen. So I'll go inside a home content, and then I'll define a box, and let's define a button over here. So I'll define a button, and then inside a button I'll define a text, and let's call it, this is a Snackbar button. So although this home content is implemented here, but you cannot see the output because we didn't pass the padding value. So if we didn't pass the padding value, the button will start render from the top of our screen, which is from there. But the moment we pass this padding value, our content will start render after that app bar component. So let me define this modifier dot padding, and then I'll give the padding value. So you can see the button start render from after this top app bar. So let me center this button also. So we'll define the content alignment, and then we'll say the alignment dot center, and then we'll have to give the modifier value that fill max size. So now you can see our button went on the center of the screen, and now we are ready to show our snack bar over here. So what we will do is, whenever someone will click this button, we will show a snack bar on the bottom of the screen. So to implement the snack bar, we have to again use the scaffold component. So inside the scaffold, we have to define the snack bar host, and again we have to implement a snack bar host state value. We have to call the remember function, and then inside snack bar host state we have to call it like this, and we have to pass this snack bar host state value to there as a lambda. So let me call this snack bar host, and we have to call this function, and then I'll pass the host state as snack bar host state. So now you can see the error has gone, and we have successfully implemented the snack bar over here. But this snack bar will not display because the default value is hidden. So we have to display the snack bar. So what we will do Whenever someone clicks this button, we will show you the snack bar on the screen. So for this, let me implement this on click event, and for handling this on click event, let me define a lambda parameter over here. So on button clicked, we just want to pass this lambda and want to return unit, and then we will pass on button clicked over here. And then we can handle this on button clicked function on this home content. So let me define a lambda over here, and then we can have a use of this on button clicked on this. So what it will do is, whenever someone click this button, this is going to call this on button clicked, and on button clicked is going to call from here. So let me define a function, a render snack bar, and let me call this method over here. So render snack bar. So what will happen is, whenever someone will click this button, this function is going to call, and inside this function we are going to define the snack bar definition or implementation. So for this we have to pass snack bar host state parameters over here. So let me pass this on the render snack bar state, and then we have to call this snack bar state, snack bar host state. Then we have to call it to show snack bar, and we have to pass the argument message. So let's pass this is a snack bar. But as you can see, this is giving us compile time error, because show snack bar is a suspend function, and we cannot call this suspend function outside a Kotlin scope. So we have to define a Kotlin scope. So let's define that. So let's use this Kotlin scope, and then remember Kotlin scope. Let's pass this parameter inside this render snack bar function, and then I'm also going to use the same on here, and let's wrap this implementation inside Kotlin scope. So Kotlin scope dot launch, and then we are going to do this, and let's see the demo of this application. So I'm going to run this application. So as you can see, our application has started, and whenever I am clicking this button, this snack bar message is displaying over here. Let me show you once again. So as you can see, the snack bar is working successfully. Now in this show snack bar function, we can pass some additional parameters or attributes. So if you want to see the implementation of this show snack bar, just click Ctrl B, and as you can see, this function accepts different parameters such as message, which we already defined, the action label with the dismiss action, and the durations. So let's back to our main activity, and let's pass the duration over here. Duration, and then snack bar dot sort we can pass. So also let's pass that action label, which we will call undo. Let me rerun this application to show the output. So whenever I am clicking this snack bar, you can see this is the title is displaying here, along with a undo button over here, which is coming from the action label. We can also define the other parameters, such as with the dismiss action. So let's define that. Let's make it true. Let me rerun this application. As you can see, we are getting the cross button over here along with the undo button. Now in order to handle this button events, we need to define some more logic here. So let me wrap this inside action result, and then we can use a when function. So we'll use when action result, and then we can pass snack bar result dot dismiss. So whenever we click the cross button, this line going to execute that, and then whenever we pass that undo button, so this method is going to use on that thing. this is on cross clicked, cross click. Okay, let's also debug something on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to define log.d, and then let's do this dismissed, and then we can have here the same logic with a different message. Okay, undo. Let me rerun this application, and let's also monitor the logcat over here. So I'm going to delete this logcat, and we have to apply the filter over here. So I'm going to type visual.io over here, and as you can see logs are clear. So now I'm going to click this show Snackbar button. Whenever I'm clicking this, I'm getting two options. Let me click the undo. So when I click the undo message printed on the screen. Let me show you once again. I click this Snackbar, and then I click the undo button. So undo button is going to print over here, and let me click the dismiss button over here. So when I click dismiss, you can see dismissed string is printed over here. So this is the video how we can implement Snackbar component using material and Jetpack Jetpack library on our Android application. So that's all for this video. If you want the source code of this video, you can find on the description on my Medium article.